Hi guys, so slightly different location. I want to show you how to make this really tender biscuit today. It's a local speciality from this town called Stresa, which is here on Lake Maggiore in Italy where I live. So I've brought you here to my favourite pasticceria here in this town. Let's go in and have a little look. Ciao!
Ciao, ciao.
My gosh, it smells so good. And various biscuits. More fruit tarts. And then these like choux puffs, they're called beignets. They're really popular. I'll show you how to make these Italian versions one day too. And then these are the biscuits. This is what we've come for. These are actually named after the first Queen of Italy, who used to holiday here back in the 1800s, and she fell in love with these biscuits.
Basta così?
Sì, grazie per oggi.
Ok.
Grazie. So this is the biscuit. You can see it's really simple. It just has a little hole in the middle and it's so delicate. So both flavor wise, as it's flavored with just some vanilla and some lemon zest, and also texture wise, as it's made using boiled egg yolks, which are grated, and then it produces the most tender, delicate biscuit. Okay, so let's go home and I'll show you how to make them. They're so easy. Okay, so let's crack on with these biscuits. Firstly, hard boil the eggs by covering them with 1 inch or so of cold water, adding a pinch of salt and putting them onto a high heat. Once they come to a full rolling boil like this, remove them from the heat, cover them and leave them to sit for at least 12 minutes. Then strain them and run cold tap water over them for a few minutes before then tapping them against the work surface lightly, giving them a little roll and then pulling them apart to extract the yolks. Then finely grate each yolk, and once they're all grated, just put them aside for a moment. Then whisk your cold butter until it's just softened, and then add in your sugar and whisk again until it's smooth. Once it's smooth like this, you can add a pinch of salt, your grated lemon zest, your grated egg yolk, and vanilla, and then just whisk again until it's all incorporated. Lastly, just add in your flour and your potato starch. So just combine it for a moment, just gently, using your spatula. Then tip it onto your work surface and then form it into a ball. So you want to work nice and quickly so it can stay as cool as possible, and just keep compressing it together with your hands, nice and gently. The technique for making these biscuits is exactly the same as that used to make sweet French pastry. You'll have seen me doing this in the lemon and fruit tart videos, so the same principles apply of trying to keep the mixture as cool as possible. And secondly, be as gentle as possible. Don't knead it as you would a dough. Just do the minimum you need to in order to bring it together. So as soon as it comes together, the final step is to make sure it's completely smooth. So you're going to roll it into a long sausage shape, and then using the palm of your hand, or more specifically that part just underneath your thumb, and you're going to smooth it across the work surface, one little section at a time. Then once you've done that, you're going to gather it back up into a ball. And at this stage, it should still feel cool to touch if you've done it well. If it isn't, don't worry, you'll get better each time you make this and each time you make pastry. Then you're going to sit it onto a piece of baking paper and flatten it out slightly using the palm of your hand, or rather again, that piece underneath your thumb. This is going to help us to get an even thickness when rolling it out. Then just put the other piece of baking paper on top and roll it out. So just going up and down with your rolling pin, then turning your paper and repeating until it's the right thickness. Remember as well, when you're rolling anything out, never roll right to the very edge. So you'll find it's already done after just a few rolls. So then just check each edge to make sure they're the same thickness, using either a ruler or a little measuring tape, and then put it into the fridge to rest. So once you're ready to bake them, remove your dough from the fridge, peel off the baking paper, then flip it over and peel off the other piece. Now using a circular biscuit cutter, cut out little rounds and place them onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Then to make the holes in the center, you want to use a fairly sharp implement. I'm using this thermometer, which is usually used for meat, I think. And just press it through the center of each one. And then using a little sharp knife, just take off any excess which has been created on each side. You can then bake these until they're golden. So once they're nicely baked, transfer them to a cooling rack. And once they're completely cool, you can then sprinkle them generously with powdered sugar. And then all that's left to do is enjoy your little piece of Italy. I'd love to hear if you like this sort of video. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more patisserie the simple way, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.